In this video, we are going to cover editing existing smart bindings and adding new ones. For this example, I am going to use a vector image of a pump. It is an existing smart symbol with one smart property for the motor RPM. To remove an existing binding, we select our object where we defined our binding. Right-click the property and remove the binding by selecting the Remove Binding option in the context menu. Notice how the property is no longer grayed out and does not have the yellow indicator to the left. To re-add the property, right-click the property and select Smart Binding Editor from the context menu. This launches the Edit Property Binding window. We can select from the list of the bindable properties on the left-hand side. Notice how we have our Pump RPM property. Double-click or hit the Add button to populate the binding logic field. We can use the full Iconics expression library to customize our binding logic field. For this example, we want to keep the motor RPM without any modifications. Press OK and notice our property is rebound to the motor RPM smart property. We can see all smart property configurations by selecting the Define Properties button from our ribbon. In the Edit Smart Properties window, we can adjust the name of the property and various other settings. One of the other settings is the property type. GraphWorx will auto-select the property type in most situations. However, say for example, I do not want to directly read the motor RPM. I want to get the RPM as a percentage of my maximum capacity. This requires us to use the runtime value of our tag and perform a calculation. In this scenario, we need to change the property type to string data source and runtime value. To browse the runtime value, go to your smart property and edit the binding. In the Edit Property Binding window, uncheck the Show Compatible Properties Only checkbox. Once the box is unchecked, we see the Motor RPM Runtime Value property. Double-click the property and continue to make the expression. Press OK and go to Runtime. Notice how the first process point that is performing the calculation with the standard Motor RPM property returns bad quality. This is because the GraphWorx recognizes the data type error of trying to multiply a string by an integer. In this case, the string is our asset path. By using the runtime value feature in the second process point, we are not only telling GraphWorx to go get our asset path, but also to take an extra step and read the value of the asset tag. Since our asset tag is an integer between 0 and 8,000, our expression can be used. Since our asset tag is an integer between 0 and 8,000, our expression can use the integer in the calculation. Smart bindings are powerful features that can be edited and added as the HMI SCADA project expands. They organize our smart symbols and help us optimize the onboarding process.